Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a chit chat, get ready with me, wedding day edition. Because this is how I do my face for weddings. No, I am not going to a wedding today, because it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'd be very late if I was going to a wedding today. But when you're watching this, it actually will be someone's wedding day. I'm sure multiple people in the world, but I will be working a wedding. So I figured I'd just show you guys how I get ready for events, the products that I normally use, my mantra that I go by, and while we're doing it, go over some of my goals for this year. Because sometimes just saying them out loud to other people helps you to be held more accountable, and I need some of that in my life. I need y'all to call me out, okay? And keep me honest. So if you guys want to see how this magic happened and why I made the choices that I made and some of my big goals for 2020, both for business and my own personal life, go ahead and keep on watching. If you don't want to see it, I don't know why you clicked on this video. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me.
All right, so to kick things off, I'm going to get my hair out of the way, because that is stressful. So when it comes to getting ready for wedding days, my motto is always, always, always make sure I'm taking all the proper steps to make sure my makeup doesn't go anywhere, but I don't do anything full coverage, like nothing full coverage at all, but I want it to stay. So just in case, like I get sweaty or I go to wipe my face, then I'm not like streaking makeup, you know what I mean? Because there was this one time when I decided that baking my under eyes would be a good idea before a wedding. And I get into the bridal suite and I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and it's like white, y'all, like fluorescent underneath my eyes. And from that day on, I was like, you know what? Nope, we are not doing full coverage. We're not baking. We are just going for something light and something I don't have to worry about throughout the day, because otherwise I could be that person that's like, ooh, did she look when she did her makeup? Is this new? Like what's happening with her face? So I'm gonna start things off with Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, because like I said, I wanna make sure that everything stays in place. And I don't like to use a whole lot of this because I do know that it clogs your pores, but on a wedding day, I don't wanna have to worry about my makeup going directions it does not belong. Next up, I'm gonna go in with Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo. This is a medium coverage foundation and a little bit goes a long way, which I'm a really big fan of, because then I'm using less of it, which makes it more cost effective. I actually just kind of apply this with my hands, and I'll probably go back in with a beauty blender just to kind of smooth things out. But you can see it's like really decent coverage for something that feels like a tinted moisturizer. Oh, I need my beauty blender. Hold on. Gosh, I just love this stuff so very much. Just gonna do a quick blend, make sure I'm not streaky anywhere. Next, I'm gonna go in with my NYX full coverage color correcting concealer in this like super bright orange. I do have pretty pigmented under eyes. Not pretty, but decently pigmented. And I like using just, as you can see, I'm barely putting any on, but just a touch to kind of help combat the purple that I have under there. And again, this is all about light coverage. We don't need orange eyeballs. No ma'am. There are just so many things I'm looking forward to in 2020. Not only does it just like feel like an epic year, because it is, it's a new decade, it's a new year, but my business I feel like is really starting to take shape into something that I'm really, really excited about. I'm gonna use my Studio Skin 24-hour waterproof concealer from Smashbox and go over the top of that orange that I just put on. And I like to do some on my lids as well, because those are actually a little bit more red, since after having children, stuff like that happens. So some of my business goals for 2020. I want to, and am currently, growing my team so I can have a whole group of amazing wedding planners, so I don't have to work all the events. The reason for that is twofold. One, because I would love to free up more of my time to take on more projects. And two, because mentoring other gals or guys, but no guys have approached me yet, to grow their wedding planning business or to grow within my business is one of my favorite things to do. I just get so excited watching new planners kind of like become planners. You know what I mean? So, which is another reason I'm super, super, super excited about, we have a wedding planner workshop that we're putting on through the podcast that we just launched, Heather and I. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's called the Union Podcast, Together We Wed. And the whole intent is actually to do a bigger focus on wedding vendors and how do we grow our businesses and how do we do it successfully. So I'm really, 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 really excited about the podcast. We do have that wedding planner workshop coming up that I'm immensely excited about. It's this weekend that and I keep saying we because it's Heather and I, it's this weekend that we are bringing in a couple of experts to help people with advertising, to help them figure out how to grow their teams. There's so many things that we want to do with this weekend. We're going to have headshots, we're going to offer meals, it's going to be bougie and fun. So that's something I'm absolutely looking forward to in 2020 is like doing a business pivot. Oh, and right now I'm just going in with a loose powdered foundation to really just set that in. Like I said, light coverage, but make sure it stays, you know? Ooh, what was that voice? Sounds like I'm transatlantic. Another business goal of mine, delegate. I just need to learn how to delegate. And I'm so excited. One of the planners on our team is now managing like our main inquiry inbox, which has freed me up immensely. It's like a breath of fresh air. And every time she like texts me or emails me with stuff that she needs me to handle, it's like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So I just need to figure out how to do more of that in this year because I have a hard time letting go of things that I want to have control of. What? And that was Neutrogena Mineral Shears Loose Powder Foundation. I've been using it for years and I really, really like it. Gets the job done. So now I'm actually going to grab my Pixie by Petra foundation. This is a pressed powder foundation. And just go in and with a concealer brush. Yeah, concealer buffer, technically. I like using this because it's just it's a nice brush. It's a nice shape. I enjoy it. Just to make sure my concealer is blended well, and this is slightly lighter, barely just a little bit lighter than the other foundation, the other powdered foundation. And this will act as my eyeshadow base. Next, cheeks. I'm gonna grab an angled brush and my Hoola bronzer. It's the travel size. We've hit pan, but we're gonna keep going because there's still stuff in there. It's still good. And I'm not doing any sort of sharp contouring because again, this is not my day to shine. I do not need to stand out. I do not need to have cut cheekbones. I just need to look presentable. And for the most part, I am filming on those days. So I don't want to look pale or scary, but I also don't need to go lavish or crazy with my face. Although I don't think that's something I normally do anyways. Where? I brought things. Oh, there it is. I tried to bring everything over so I could be prepped when I started filming. But it's all over the place. So now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. blush palette. It's very old. The exterior is very loved. And I think I'm going to go for this peachy tone right here. I actually really, really like this palette because it's super pigmented, which means you don't really need to use a lot of it. Just dust that on the apples of my cheeks and pull that back a little bit just to blend it in with the bronzer a little. And if I can properly delegate, if I can get more team members to take on more of the menial tasks or more of my day-to-day things, I feel like it'll really free me up to take on more opportunities, to do different videos, to go out of town and interview different vendors because sometimes scheduling that is really, really challenging. Or to just free up my day-to-day life because I do work from home. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and to be able to run my household and run my business sometimes gets really, really, really chaotic. So I've got to start figuring out ways to just like pass off other things onto other team members because it's a lot. Next, I'm going in with my Smashbox Shape Matters little travel palette. I'm obsessed with travel palettes because then you get all the pretty colors without paying full price. And I am just going in with this skin tone ivory nude situation and going basically all over my lid. We are keeping this neutral. We're not going exaggerated. I'm not using any bright colors. And now I'm going to grab this blending brush by Elizabeth Mott. And I think I'm going to go in with this color right here, right into the crease. Of course, I am no makeup artist. I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing, but I have fun doing it. And sometimes that's all that matters. Yeah, so I feel like those are my goals for business. I want to delegate. I want to bring in more weddings, to grow up other planners. I don't want to work all the weddings. And I think it's important that I stop working all the weddings. So yeah, it'll be an interesting year of growth for that, especially because so many people who find us because of my YouTube channel. And so when they want a planner for their day, they want it to be me because they feel connected to me, which is tender and sweet. And I'm so, so, so honored by it. I just can't physically take on all the weddings. It doesn't make sense. So that'll be a rough transition, I think, getting people to realize that it won't be me on their wedding day, because that I can see why they would feel bummed out by that. But in order for my business to grow, I have to start making some changes. Okay, now I'm grabbing this shaped brush. Hold on. Wait for it. This shaped brush. And I'm going to go in for this color right here and pop that into my crease. Just a teensy bit. We don't need to go too crazy, and really work that in. So I want to see my business grow. I want to grow my team. I want to watch this podcast grow. I really want to step into more of a mentorship role with the Union Podcast and the Wedding Planner Workshop, because that just brings me so, so, so much joy. There are several planners, even in different states that I work with, that I'm kind of helping them grow their business. I'm sharing contracts with them, those kinds of things. And it brings me so much joy to do both wedding planning and mentoring. Personal goals for 2020. I want to find a better balance. If you guys were tuned in to Vlogmas, then you know that I struggled with anxiety, and I still struggle with anxiety. It's constant. I'm experiencing it right now because there's so much that I have to get done today. But I also really wanted to film this. I wanted to sit down and hang out with you guys because I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. So finding a better balance, I think, is key, and I think some of those business goals will really help out. Now I'm going to go in with a flat brush and that same dark brown color on my lower lash line. So I don't know if I can talk while doing this. And again, really subtle, just kind of frames my eyeballs nicely. Another thing I really want to do this year is I want to grow this channel. It sounds like I have so many plates spinning, because I do. Sometimes wedding planning feels like a job, and it should, and it's my favorite job I've ever had, and I love creating content. But every once in a while, I just want to create something just to create something for my own sake. I also love capturing my family's memories, and I love watching back footage years later, even though I've only had this channel for like a year. But going back and rewatching things means so much, so much. And I know it's been a treat to have you guys come along this journey with me. And I just want to grow this channel. It is a little sad to be like, my main channel has like 61,000 subs, I think, which blows my mind. And then this channel has like 6,000. But the cool thing about the 6,000 that are here is that they are devoted people. And it gets me so excited. I would just like to see it grow some more. So now I'm going to go in with my Lord & Berry black eyeliner and do that on my upper lash line, which I will not be able to talk through, so BRB. Okay, good enough. Actually, it looks like garbage right now, but don't worry, I'm going to fix it. Then I go in with that same flat brush that I used for my lower lash line, and I just blend it out because I don't want any harsh lines. I want it to be nice and almost, I don't want to say smoked out, but kind of. Yeah, I guess it's smoking out the lash line. And whatever's left over on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and carry that on my lower lash line as well. Just kind of deepen the color a little bit. I feel like there's more on this side than there is on this side. We'll find out. Okay, my camera died. I'm spending too much time on my eyeliner. Another personal goal for 2020. Actually, Rachel Hollis, if you guys know who she is, fantastic motivational speaker. She and her husband and their company strongly encourage something called the last 90, where instead of doing New Year's resolutions and making an immediate change for the last 90 days of the year, you cut one thing, you make a couple of commitments. And one of the things that they suggested was to cut one thing out. And I decided to cut out high fructose corn syrup, which I can proudly say that to this day, I have done my best to stick to. Now, there have been things where I'm like, well, this is our only option for dinner. It does have some in it. okay, but it also has led me to cut out soda completely. Soda wasn't something I was ever like a huge, I love Dr. Pepper, don't get me wrong. I love Dr. Pepper, especially after a wedding. I'll get like an ice cold Dr. Pepper on my way home. And I've cut it out entirely. It's all gone. I did have one the other day though, and I was not a fan. I was like, wow, this is really sugary. So that's something I'd love to continue moving into 2020. I'm gonna pause for a sec, tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna do my brows next. I like to do my brows before my eyelashes. Does it make sense? No. Not at all. And this is the Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in Soft Brown by Ulta Beauty. I love how tiny the tip of this pencil is. Look at that. So yeah, I'd like to continue to cut out high fructose corn syrup, and it's really actually challenged my husband and I to read more labels, like read more food labels. What are we putting into our bodies? Which we are making small changes, and I would just love to see those continue to grow. And maybe we'll get to the point where we're not really having GMOs in general, which I would be really, really, really happy to do. We already try to buy organic when we can, when it's available, and when we can afford it. But to make a concerted effort to cut out GMOs as well, I think would be a really, really healthy and relatively achievable goal for our family. It's just means reading more food labels. I actually already have pretty decent eyebrows, so I don't really need to do a whole lot to them. It's more just a process of like lining the edges and then filling in any of the gaps. They're not too shabby. Although sometimes I go a little aggro and I go a little too dark. So I'm a work in progress. So I'm just going to take a spoolie end and just really kind of feather that in there so there's no lines. See if there's any spot that I'm missing. They look so dark on camera. That's exactly what I was talking about. In person, they seem fine. They seem very Brooke Shields on camera, though, which I'll take. She's beautiful. I'll totally take that. Oh, no. Oh, no. I drew outside the lines. No. And then, this is probably like the most vulnerable goal that I've shared ever. I want another baby. And we've been trying for a while. And it hasn't happened yet. And it's really hard to talk about, but that is a goal for this year. If we can. Because I just love being a mom. I love, love, love having kids. So if the Lord sees fit to bless us with another child, that would be pretty stinking awesome. Yeah, it's just been a long time. And we can't really afford stuff like IVF or anything, so that got deep. Which is another reason why I want to delegate and grow my business and grow my team. Is so if I do get pregnant, I have other people to take over the events. Because I want to get pregnant and I want to have another baby. And I want to take time bonding with that baby. And I guess business goals and personal goals really start to mesh together at this point. And being a solopreneur is a very personal experience. It is very much intertwined with your everyday life, and finding a balance is really important. So I'd like to get to the point where if we do become pregnant, my business is pretty well sustained on its own. So yeah, how's that for vulnerable? Nice little coughing fit to break up the emotion. So now I'm going to actually put on the mascara I've been waving around for the last 3 minutes, which is my trusted favorite CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. I try to go away. I try to try new things, and I always come back. Always. So I am not going to make this mistake that I made the last Get Ready With Me video, which was like over a year ago. I'm not going to make the same mistake of talking while trying to do my mascara. I'm just going to do it. Let's go. Okay, mascara is done, and I got a little bit out of control, but I'm going to go back in with a spoolie in just a sec and kind of just like, nope. That was close. And kind of just, the mascara will actually like flick off once it's dried, which is very cool. Now I'm going to go in with my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit to make sure that these Groucho Marx looking little guys stay in place, so I don't have crazy brows halfway through a reception. Just a light touch. We're not gelling them into place. I mean, I think technically we are gelling them into place, but it's not going to look like we gelled them into place. Oh, I totally forgot to highlight. Hold on. I actually just got this new highlighter brush in my Ipsy bag, and then this is the Ofra highlighter Rodeo Drive, also from Ipsy. So I just take a teensy bit and just kind of dust it right there, a little bit, and dust it right there. Again, subtle is key, because I want to look good and feel confident, but it's not me who needs to be glowing on somebody's wedding day. All right, is this dry enough? Let's find out. There it is. Look at that. Gone. Do I have any on this side? Of course I do. For lips on a wedding day, I would love to say that I am good enough to keep putting on some sort of really pretty lip color. I am not. Not even a little bit. So I'm just going to grab some chapstick because I have tried and tried to put on like a really pretty red or a really pretty nude color, like a matte liquid lipstick, and just rock that throughout the day, but I keep forgetting to put it back on, and then my lips just look patchy and weird, so I just wear chapstick. Not to mention, my lips always get dry at weddings. I don't know if I become a mouth breather at weddings or if it's just because I'm doing a lot of talking, maybe a lot of heavy breathing. I don't know. So I just do chapstick. So to top things off, finish it off, I do go in with that Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Because even though everything is medium to light coverage, we want to lock it in place. I like to be prepared for no matter what happens. If something smears on my face, cool. It'll still look like skin underneath. So those are some of my goals for this year. I'm not going to call them resolutions because I don't keep those. These are goals that I know that I can achieve and that I'm going to work really, really hard at. And I hope you guys keep me accountable. If I start talking about how my life is not balanced, get on me. So there you have it. Here is my wedding day look. So super simple, easy, low maintenance. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know some of your goals in the comments below. As always, I love bonding with you guys and I love sharing our experiences together. So get at me in the comments. If you haven't done so already, like this video and subscribe because you want to keep hanging out. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Why do I feel like I need more mascara on this side? I mean, I'm filling this at the end after doing everything. I feel like we need some more. You know how people say that eyebrows are sisters, not twins? What about lashes? Anyone else have one eyeball of lashes that they enjoy more than the other? This side, rockin'. This side needs to step up its game.